Chris Evans, it's Chris Country Weekly, and I am delighted to share with you a conversation I had with Carrie Underwood. It's been an incredible 10 years for Carrie, starting out on American Idol, impressing everybody so much, even Simon Cowell, that leading to the record deal, lots of songs, lots of albums, lots of number ones, and now lots of time in the UK as well. She headlined Country to Country, which she's doing again next year. We saw her on the X Factor last weekend, on Good Morning Britain as well. She's spending loads of time here, which we're really delighted about. So, the first half of my conversation, Carrie Underwood on Chris Country. It's Chris Country, and here's a line I've wanted to say for a long time. Welcome, Carrie Underwood. Thank you so much for your time. Great to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, no problems. There's so much we want to talk about as well. You're back in the UK. You're headlining Country to Country. There's a fabulous new album right here that we want to talk about. But first, the most important question. How's Isaiah doing?
Oh, he's good. He's just growing fast.
It was February he was born.
Yeah, February 27th.
So that's getting on towards a year. That's flying by,
I know.
isn't it?
I was just talking about what we're gonna do for his first birthday party, and it's crazy. I mean, time really does fly. I know people say it all the time, but it just seems like every day he grows and changes. And yeah, he's just such a smiley, sweet little guy.
I saw you posted a video a couple of days ago, and you look very happy.
He laughs and smiles, and he's learning things like reaching for people, and he'll come to you and be like, pick me up, and wanting to kiss and hug, and he's just he's a very touchy-feely baby, so it's really nice to be able to cuddle with him.
Brilliant. So life must have changed quite a bit then.
Yeah, I mean, we've always been busy. My husband and I have always been running around doing all kinds of stuff, but it's busy in a different way. We now have all of our things that we do, on the work side of things, and now we have Isaiah to think about, and yeah, it's just a whole new. We're just discovering things. We're working our way through it. There's no rules. There's no right or wrong. It's just figuring it all out, which I don't know if we'll ever really figure it all out.
So the timing was quite good, because you released this fantastic double album, Decade #1, which I guess in a way allowed you a bit of time to do your own thing.
It did. I mean, everything kind of happened really nicely. We were working on new music, and then I found out I was pregnant, and then I was like, okay, now what do we do with all this? Because I never like to stamp dates on things before they're done, because that's just unneeded pressure, and it doesn't make any sense. You're not working towards making the best album. You're working towards finishing it good enough so it can be out on the date that you've stamped. And so yeah, it was one of those things that it all worked out, I think, exactly the way it was supposed to, musically and personally.
And congratulations on a decade of fantastic music. It's incredible.
It is.
You listen to this album, and it's like, I remember that one, and that one, and that one, and that one, and suddenly you're like, oh, there's dozens of tracks there.
Yeah, it's I was glad they let me put everything on the album, because I thought we were going to have to shave things down and cut songs out and things like that, just because, I don't know, there's all kinds of label businessy stuff that I don't even care about, but I figured they'd be like, no, we need to have 10 or 12, and they let me put all of them on there, so that was a blessing.
It's a great album, and of course some of the great duets as well with Brad Paisley and Randy Travis, and it's a really great album. And so that's the first 10 years with a pretty good pedigree of music.
Yeah.
That kind of almost wipes the slate clean to start again, and you produce Storyteller, your new album.
It's a new chapter, and it's not, we're not leaving anything behind in to the next decade. But it was really nice to just kind of start a new chapter and feel like I was starting fresh in my personal life, in my professional life. It was it was a good, like you said, kind of a clean slate moment for me.
And very successful as well. So the moment it came out, it seemed like everyone had a copy of it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been received well, which is always it's like an apprehension when you start making music, and it's like, I think it's good, and I feel like the people around me think it's good, but the real test is when you kind of release it out into the world and you get that feedback.
She's a small town, hard-working woman.
Now, when you first got a physical copy of the album with all the packaging and everything, and you're able to put it in your own car and drive around, and it's full of great tracks, which ones particularly are you sort of mega proud of, mega happy of when you're listening through it now?
I mean, I love Renegade Runaway. I love Choctaw County Affair. I think that's one of my favorites because it's just so different for me. And there's just something really cool, and it's just cool. It's really twangy and interesting. Church bells, heartbeats. I mean, there's not one on there that I'm not proud of. So.
And you co-wrote a lot of the album as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I ended up with almost half. So that's really cool, including the first two singles. So yeah, it's nice when you can kind of just, I don't know, you can claim it from start to finish, and you were there for the song's conception, and there every step of the way.
Well, here in the UK, we were lucky enough to see you perform at the Apple Music Festival a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And some of the tracks, Smoke Break and some were part of your gig there. And they felt like they'd been around the whole time.
Yeah.
It just seemed to naturally continue on. And what a great gig that was as well.
It was so much fun, and I was just honored to be waving the country flag in the Apple Music Festival and be the first country music headliner. I hope it's the first of many. I hope people enjoyed working with us and enjoyed having us there and enjoyed watching, because I would love to see more artists in the lineup in the years to come.
Definitely. Well, certainly our listeners loved it, and those that couldn't be there were watching on Apple TV as well. And of course, having Cam and the Shires on there as well made a really nice sort of combination of sounds and a fantastic evening.
Yeah, and I mean, Cam is off to a really great start, and she's a label mate of mine. So it was really nice to have her there. And the Shires, I mean, those were I'd never been lucky enough to meet them, and they're super nice and super talented. And it was nice to kind of have them being from here and having their country music, waving the country music flag here.
Absolutely. And right now they've just gone over to support Little Big Town on some gigs in the States, and you're over here. It feels like country is truly becoming international, and you're back in March for Country to Country.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I think there's definitely a want for it here. Anytime that we've been lucky enough to come play, you feel the excitement from the crowd. I mean, they've done their homework. They've gone and got the albums, and they know every word to every song. And so I feel like there's definitely a want, and it's up to us to just make it more of a priority. And I feel like so many other artists are trying to do that. They're trying to come over more often and just spread the kind of music that we've all been listening to our whole lives.
Your first Country to Country that you're doing next year. You're coming back, so you must have enjoyed it the first time.
Oh yeah, and I know every year it's only gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, so it'll be fun to not only, do the C2C back in London, but also to get to go to Glasgow and Dublin, and I mean, that's just really cool to see it expand.
So you're going to keep passing Miranda Lambert in the air as you fly around the different nights, aren't you? Because they're all headlining different nights in different places.
Right. Yeah, it's really cool. I mean, just the lineup for all 3 days are really good.
thanks to Carrie Underwood for spending time with us, and the second half of that conversation on the show next week.